I hope that you enjoy our videos, and please press like. It'll help us a lot. One of the reasons I'm enjoying making these videos is that more and more people are listening in, and we thank you for that very much. I don't know if I've gotten into it in great detail, but a large part of my background has to do with history and geography. I'm fascinated by geography, and that ties into my request that more of you tell me where you're from, what country or what state in the country are you from in your comments, because this is an area that is of great interest to me. As you may have seen, we've had another month, to talk about January, of low inflation. The CPI at 0.2% was very beneficial for those of us pretty much across the board who say the less inflation we have, the better. And it has a strong impact on how we strategize and how we speculate. There are really sort of two schools on what's going on. One school is saying that if we keep inflation low, that's beneficial in terms of keeping, among other things, the strength of the dollar reasonable, and the decline in the value of the dollar is a major factor. But on the other hand, there are people who are saying, well, if you keep inflation too low, even go toward deflation, that's probably going to be bad for the economic growth. And so we do like to have a lot of government spending to prop up the growth in the economy. And so my attitude in general is it's a hugely important issue. Maybe one of the most important issues is that it ties to the impact on the government of the national debt, because you've got so much requirements that the Treasury raised. It's over $100 billion a week from selling Treasury bonds. And how do they sell them? Well, they sell them only based on what people will buy them at. And what's that based on? What's the interest rate of the T-bond or the interest rate of the Treasury bill? And so those are factors that are currently continually of major concern. One of the reasons that you look at the recent increase in the price of precious metals, whether silver or gold, is the higher the interest rate tends to have an impact. And so in the last 2 years, the strong increase in the prices of gold and silver is heavily impacted by what's going on with interest rates. If we want to have gold and silver stay low in price, you want to have very low inflation and the ability of the government to sell the Treasury bills and Treasury bonds that they need, as I said, over $100 billion a week to stay high priced because the interest rate is low. So that's part of what's going on in our constant thinking. If you want a copy of my book, The Speculator's Mosaic, you can find that on Amazon.